Hello and welcome. So, let me ask you something. Where do you think great business ideas really come from? Is it just some random flash of genius? Or is there something more to it? Something you can actually learn? Well, we're about to find out. You know that feeling, right? You get this spark, this amazing idea, but then what? Turning that into something real can feel totally overwhelming, and it's so easy to just get stuck right there. Today, we're going to build a bridge from that first little spark to a real, solid opportunity. And here's the best news right up front. You do not need to be some kind of super genius. Seriously, this whole popular idea that amazing business concepts just appear out of thin air, for the most part, it's a complete myth. That's right. The best entrepreneurs, well, they're kind of like detectives. They don't just sit around and wait for the perfect idea to fall into their lap. No, they're out there, actively hunting for clues that almost everyone else overlooks. So, let's put on our detective hats and learn how it's done. Okay, so first things first. Any good detective has to know exactly what they're looking for, right? For us, that means getting really clear on the difference between just a simple idea and a real business opportunity. And trust me, they are not the same thing at all. It really just boils down to your perspective. I mean, 100 people can look at the very same scene, but the opportunity detective, they spot the one thing that's different, the one little detail that opens up a brand new world of possibilities. So here's what you really need to get. An opportunity isn't just a cool idea. It's more like a perfect storm of circumstances that creates a real need. A true opportunity has to be timely, meaning right now is the right time. It's got to be durable, so it's not just a passing fad. And most important of all, it has to add real, genuine value for the customer. All right, so where do we even start looking for these clues? Well, our first tool in the detective kit is all about looking outward, at the big shifts happening all around us in the world. We're talking about trends, and let me tell you, they are absolute gold mines for new opportunities. We're going to zoom in on four major types. Think of them like different magnifying glasses you can use to look at the world. You've got economic forces, social forces, tech advances, and of course, political and regulatory changes. Let's kick things off with economic forces. I mean, think about it. The way people spend their money and what they can afford, that creates these huge waves of opportunity. The state of the economy directly shapes what people need and what they want. And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Take a company like GasBuddy. A pretty negative economic trend, people having less money to spend, actually created a really positive business opportunity. It solved a very specific problem that came from that trend, the need to save cash on everyday things like gas. Okay, next up, social forces. This is all about what we as a culture value. It's about how we live our lives and what's changing. Think about the huge focus on wellness these days or sustainability. These aren't just fuzzy ideas, they are powerful trends that are creating entire new markets as we speak. Social media is a fantastic example here. Its success wasn't just because the technology was cool. It was because it tapped into a deep, timeless social force, our basic human need to connect with each other. The technology was just the tool that served that human trend. And of course, we can't forget about technology itself. It is a massive driver of change. And new tech doesn't just create chances to make new gadgets. More often than not, it creates ways to do the same old things in completely new, easier, and way more convenient ways. Okay, time for our second big method. Now, instead of just watching trends from afar, this one is all about actively looking for problems. Every little frustration you have, every inefficiency, every single time you think to yourself, there has to be a better way to do this, that's a clue. That's a potential business idea. All right, let's open a case file, shall we? Our subjects, two consultants who are traveling all the time across the Middle East and North Africa. Their mission should have been simple, get from point A to point B. But they kept running into the same roadblock over and over again. And this was the heart of the mystery. Trying to get a taxi was just a constant struggle. It was unreliable, it was inefficient, and it was a daily source of frustration. And here's the key part. They didn't just notice this problem from a distance, they lived it every single day. And it didn't take them long to realize they were not alone. Not by a long shot. They had basically stumbled upon a massive, underserved market. An entire region with hundreds of millions of people was dealing with the exact same headache. A huge opportunity hiding in plain sight. So what was the solution? A company you might have heard of called Careem. Now, they didn't just copy some other app. They built one that really deeply understood the local needs. They even added features like ladies-only rides. And by solving a problem they knew firsthand, they built a massive success. Case closed. Now for our third and final technique, finding gaps. This isn't always about solving some huge problem or inventing something totally new. Sometimes it's just about spotting where an existing product or service just isn't quite cutting it, where there's something missing. You know, some of the biggest opportunities come from taking a process that's already familiar and just making it 10 times better, 10 times easier, faster, or more convenient. OpenTable is the perfect example. People were already making restaurant reservations, right? But think about the old way. It had gaps. You had to call during business hours. You might get put on hold. You had no idea what times were really available. OpenTable just filled that massive convenience gap and built a huge business doing it. So, we've got our techniques down. We can spot trends, we can solve problems, and we can find gaps. But what does it take from you on a personal level? Let's talk about the habits that make someone a great idea hunter. It really comes down to 3 main habits. First, you have to stay alert and be curious. This means you're actively noticing things, not just passively seeing them. Always be asking, why is it done that way? Second, you've got to use your own experience. Your own frustrations are valuable data. I mean it. Keep a note on your phone. Every time something annoys you, write it down. That list is a goldmine of problems just waiting for a solution. And third, talk to people. Get outside your own bubble and really listen to the challenges and ideas of others, especially people who are different from you. That is where the most surprising insights are hiding. So as we wrap up here, just remember this. Recognizing opportunities, it's not magic. It's a skill. It's a mindset that you can actually practice and get better at. And now that you have the Detective's Toolkit, the only real question left is, what problem will you solve tomorrow? Thanks for tuning in.